All right, good evening, Central Texas. Wanted to give you a quick update on our impending winter storm. I want to hope everybody's having a great Friday night and is kind of getting settled in for what could be a little bit of a long weekend in terms of getting out and doing things. It looks like we should all probably stay in the house throughout the entirety of the weekend as we are watching that freezing rain inch ever closer here on this Friday night. So this is what we're looking at right now from Cameron up towards Temple and even creeping up towards Waco. We do have some showers. Again, these are just showers. This is not freezing precipitation. It is just rain right now. We are all well above freezing across Central Texas. So because of that, we are not seeing any frozen precipitation falling from the sky just yet. You can see it just to the northwest of Central Texas, though, in parts of the big country from Comanche back down towards Brownwood there. And as we kind of zoom out, you can see what's going on statewide. And again, there's that freezing line. You can see it very clearly here from about the I-35 split there in Denton all the way back down towards San Angelo and then back towards Midland there and parts of the Permian Basin. That is where that freezing line is. So anything behind that line, of course, is going to fall as the potentially freezing rain, sleet, and even snow in parts of the parts of Texas. But for us right now, it is just rain. And I do suspect that rain is going to continue throughout the rest of the night. So we'll keep an eye on that. But by tomorrow, we do expect it to transition to that freezing precipitation. Take a look at your temperatures. If you're down in the Brazos Valley right now, still at 61 in College Station. So still a comfortable evening in College Station. Just a little bit of rain, cloud cover. A lot of moisture out there, of course. 59 right now in Hearn, 55 in Cameron, 40s along the I-35 corridor, Marlin, Temple, and Waco. And then as you creep west of I-35, that's where you can see some of those temperatures starting to get a little bit closer to that freezing mark, 36 right now from Meridian to Hamilton and Goldthwaite. So again, we need to see those temperatures get below 32 before we can even start talking about that freezing precipitation. They are getting close again in our northern and western counties, but we'll continue to watch it creep ever further south throughout the rest of the night. So our weather impact alert goes through Monday morning. We will rise above, it looks like some of us will at least rise above freezing on your Monday afternoon. We will continue this, though, into Tuesday morning because we do expect another morning of very, very cold temperatures across Central Texas on Tuesday as well. But for the weekend, again, that impact is that freezing rain and sleet that could create seriously hazardous travel on area roadways. It can also create a lot of stress on power lines. So that's where that kind of fear of some of those power outages comes from. Looks like the grid's going to be okay, but if power lines come down, that will cause those outages across the area. Also, very cold temperatures. We've talked about that, and we'll continue to talk about that because, again, even more dangerous potentially than some of the ice and sleet could be some of the temperatures you'd experience if you step outside this weekend. So, of course, you need to make sure you pay attention to forecast changes the rest of the weekend. You're watching us on 6 Plus right now. We'll be here on 6 Plus throughout the weekend, and we will also have some additional coverage on air this weekend as well, as we're going to do a 6 a.m. Texas Today episode on Sunday morning as well. So with that in mind, we will have you covered all weekend long. Remember, through the weekend, 4 Ps. Pets, pipes, plants, and people. Check on the people around you. Of course, don't leave your pets outside. Make sure that your outdoor faucets are covered and that you have a drip going in your sinks to keep that water moving through the pipes throughout the weekend. And again, limit travel. Again, if we have ice on the roads, that will create serious problems. Again, when we start talking about freezing rain, it coats it and glazes the roads, and because of that, you're going to have a hard time finding that traction with the tires on the road. So let's talk about the forecast here. Again, rain throughout the rest of the evening. But again, as we get towards about 10, 11 o'clock, you see some of that freezing precipitation starting to creep into areas like Comanche, Brownwood, still out in the big country, but getting ever closer. And then by the time we get to the pre-dawn hours, that's when we kind of see everything kind of start to creep into some of our western counties there in Mills County, San Saba County. And then we put it back in motion and get to about 9 o'clock. That freezing line is now creeping closer to I-35. Most areas west of I-35 now seeing some form of freezing precipitation. Most likely freezing rain. That looks to be the most probable, even more probable than even seeing sleet throughout the course of this event. So we'll keep an eye on that because freezing rain by far the most dangerous. Want you to notice the temperatures though. Anything above 29, yes, bridges and overpasses become a problem. Once temperatures start dropping below 29 degrees, that's when we can see that freezing rain really causing problems on surface streets as well. So with that in mind, again, we'll keep an eye on those temperatures. Once they drop below about 28 degrees, that's when we have those problems. By the afternoon, notice temperatures don't really go up during the day. They're going to fall basically throughout the day because we still have those north winds in place. And again, with that freezing precipitation, that will continue to fall as long as those temperatures stay below freezing. Comes in waves. So again, you saw the morning wave, a little bit of an afternoon wave, and then there will be an evening wave into the overnight hours as well. This is when we can see some of our most impactful precipitation as we head towards Sunday morning, and then everything's gone as we get to about mid-morning on Sunday. Problem is, it moves out, but as long as temperatures stay below freezing, it's not going to melt off the ground. So it's going to continue to cause those problems as we head into Sunday and potentially even Monday as well. So when does it start? I'm still going with about 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. for areas kind of to the north and west here in central Texas. From Lampasas to Killeen up towards Mahé and Fairfield, our centralized counties, that's going to be about 8 a.m. to noon. And if you're in the Brazos Valley, again, it'll start off about noon to about 3 o'clock. So that's when it starts. Like I said, it's going to run through about Sunday morning, though. So we're talking the potential here of about 12 to 18 hours where we could see that freezing precipitation falling across the area. So how much accumulation are we really looking at here? Well, anywhere between 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch across central Texas. That is a problem. Why is that a problem? Because 1/4 inch adds a lot of weight to power lines. And so when we start talking about power outages, that freezing rain really is the worst case scenario because it coats those power lines and they get very heavy very quickly. And so when you start talking about 1/4 inch of ice, then yes, then we could start seeing those power issues. Of course, we also talk about those road issues. Anything more than about 1/10 inch of ice will cause issues on the road. So when you see 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, yes, that's going to be issues on the roadways throughout the weekend. So let's talk about those temperatures because this really has to be mentioned as well. Anytime you step outside and the temperatures are falling into the teens, you're going to feel very cold. When you have that north wind blowing, it feels even colder. So what we need to do is make sure if we have to step outside, make sure everything's covered. I'm talking hands, I'm talking face, I'm talking gloves, scarves, anything that you've got, because you want to protect yourself from these windy, cold conditions as we head into Saturday evening, and then especially into Sunday morning. Temperatures in the teens, wind chills could feel even colder than that. I'm talking single digits by Sunday morning is what it could feel like when you factor in the wind. Here's the issue. Sunday afternoon, we do not climb out of the 20s. Because of that, anything that's already on the ground stays on the ground. So we're still dealing with those travel concerns on Sunday afternoon. Heading into Monday morning, take a look at this. Temperatures even colder than they were Sunday morning. We're talking 10 to 15 degrees. And again, wind chill values could be right around 0. So again, it's going to be bitterly cold Monday morning too. So again, if you have to step outside, and again, I would definitely advise against it. Make sure that you are covered up from head to toe. By Monday afternoon, we get close to freezing in a few spots, but I think we probably still stay below freezing Monday afternoon. And then by Tuesday, that could be the coldest morning of the week with actual temperatures in the single digits. So again, we are dealing with that cold weather all the way into Tuesday morning. In terms of wind chills, when you factor in the wind, take a look here. Sunday morning could feel like it's right around 0, single digits down towards the Brazos Valley. Monday morning, most of us could feel like we're right around 0 in terms of the wind chill. Again, not talking about temperatures here. I showed you that before. This is your wind chill value. This is what it's actually going to feel like on exposed skin. So that's why we keep saying cover up, bundle up, make sure you've got the gloves, the scarves, and the hat. So here's what it looks like. Again, we fall below freezing tomorrow morning. We stay that way through Sunday. Temperatures in the teens as you wake up Sunday morning. Temperatures in the 5 to 15 degree range as you wake up on Monday morning. And then again, 5 to 15 degree range again Tuesday morning. Again, we kind of block this area off, probably color that in with our weather impact alert as well, because at this point it does not look like we will rise above freezing. So again, we could still be dealing with road conditions deteriorating through Monday as well. Again, get a little sunshine, a little bit of radiant heat. It will help, but it will not be super efficient. We should still see some issues on area roadways through Monday as well. So like I said, we'll probably continue the weather impact alert into there. As for Tuesday afternoon, most of us do finally climb above freezing, and we're going to stay that way during the afternoon hours as we head through the middle and end of the week. Problem is, mornings are still cold, still below freezing, right above freezing there as we wake up Friday morning. So again, we're still dealing with cold mornings. Those afternoons are going to be pretty chilly, but at least we do rise above freezing as we head through the middle and end of the week. Now, here's the deal. We are focused on this weekend because that is going to be priority number one. However, I can't end this segment without telling you that we are watching the possibility that we have another storm system moving on Friday, and that could bring us some rain, maybe even some wintry precipitation there as well. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, nothing set in stone about next Friday just yet. We are focused right now on this weekend and making sure everybody stays safe and as warm as possible as we head through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday morning. Now, again, with these winter storms, you get changes almost by the hour. And so because of that, there might be something different that we tell you at 10 o'clock tonight. So make sure you tune into 6 News at 10, where we will have another update for you on our newscast.